Hi everyone, I just wanted to get on here and say, thank you for watching my videos and to just remind you that to be proud of who you are and to believe in yourself because, like I said, everything starts with you, right? And if you're not proud of yourself and how far you've came in life, then don't sit and wait for anybody else to be proud of you, right? It's just all on you and you have to believe in yourself. And, just don't think that, don't let anything limit you, right? Always own yourself. Yeah, be proud of who you are, where you came from. Like I said, for me, I came from Essequibo Coast. I came from the countryside. I grew up there up to when I was like 15 years old. Say for example, like Christmas time, that was the time we used to, in my village, and I know a lot of other people too, right? Like Christmas was a big deal. Christmas was a time that for us that we get cake, right? That's the only time, honestly. That's really the only time. Yeah, my mother used to bake really. We used to get cake and stuff sometimes from the neighbor, right? Which is family, right? And like yeah, when like some weekends they bake stuff, everybody share things. But Christmas time was a big deal. Um, I remember like eating apple and stuff back then. It was like you only getting them things Christmas time for sure. And I remember this shop that's still there, well upgraded now. And that goes to show that and a lot of people lives have changed, right? Over time. And but again, like we never forget where we came from. And I remember I always used to like most to go to the shop Christmas time because I don't know the people I'm sharing apple, right? And I used to get two apple. And hey, that's a big deal for me, like as a kid, right? And even to go to like I remember going like when my mother would send me to one of my friends' house to like get seasoning, this that whatever. I used to like to go because they would give you grapes and all of these things. I grew up poor, right? Like a lot of people, you grow up without having things, and yeah, so like we should never forget where we came from. We should be proud of who we are again. And I just can't keep help emphasizing that because a lot of people like because of the societies that we grew up in and stuff like that, people are very ashamed of their circumstances and think people would judge them. But listen, nobody you shouldn't give anybody that kind of power to judge you, to let that affect you, because you have to own yourself. And there is going to be people, or there are going to be people out there that is going to judge you, that's going to criticize you, that's going to like speak ill of you or whatever. But you have to know that there's somebody bigger in control, and nothing, you shouldn't give people that kind of power. People are going to laugh at you and whatever, but it doesn't matter, right? um and I also remember I grew up in an old house, right? And geez, it's so funny because I remember clearly, like one, like I used to be embarrassed, like back then as a child you're embarrassed, right? Like you're going to secondary school and you meet other friends from all different school, different primary school, and so, right? In your village, when you go into primary school, everybody know, everybody know where you live, and it's nothing. But then when you start secondary school, now you start growing a little bit older, right? You're meeting other people. And I remember one time one of my teachers was he was a photographer and probably still is, I'm not sure. And he was riding through the street and I was in the yard sweeping and I saw him and I just dropped the broom and I went and I hide, right? And wow, jeez, even like it used to get people used to, like, from my secondary school, whenever I see them I would run and hide because I was ashamed, I was embarrassed. But back then you never had nobody to tell you, like, listen, don't be ashamed of where you live, or don't be ashamed, because if your parents obviously could have done better, they would have, right? But parents used to be struggling a lot, right? And right now I know in a lot of countryside, even in the interior, you know um be it like wherever, like, where you're not so fortunate as others, right? And you're growing up, like, now we could actually say, like, hey, don't be ashamed, don't be afraid, just keep working hard, and concentrate on your studies, and one day life is gonna get better, right? You have to keep believing in that. And yeah, back then we didn't have anybody to tell us that. And now we could say to people, right, like, hey, like, don't worry about it, everything is going to be all right, believe that, and it will happen, and you're gonna work towards that. So yeah, I just want to get on here quickly and say to be proud of who you are. Never forget where you came from, no matter where you end up in life. Like, if you're from the countryside, say, yeah, I'm from the countryside. Always remain humble, always remain kind. Not just only kind to others, but first of all, you have to start with being kind to yourself, right? If you're not kind to yourself, and if you cannot love yourself, then you won't be able to do that for everybody else, right? Stay away from negativity, and yeah, just embrace everything as it comes. And yeah, I think that's it for right now. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and I hope you guys enjoy, right? So always remain very humble, and take care.